Hello, this is Bill, coming at you from Bill's Kitchen in beautiful Melbourne, Florida. I'm saying because it's like rainy outside. Anyway, I'm going to do something a little more creative today. It's something that I really enjoy. One of those things like, I'm always like, I'll go out and pay someone to make this because making it seems to be a hassle. So I'm like, well, that's stupid because I'm sure I can make it. I just got to figure it out, right? So I'm making chicken enchiladas with mole sauce. And the first thing I have to do is make the mole sauce. And I must have read 100 recipes trying to figure out what the intent was and how to make it is best. And then after I thought, when I had that all mastered, because I've made like a gallon of mole sauce to figure this out, then it was, how do you put these darn things together? How do you make those corn tortilla shell enchiladas absolutely perfect? I figured it out. So let me tell you, the last time I made it last week, it was just darn tootin' great. And so I'm hoping that you have as much fun. So like I said, hardest part's probably making the mole sauce, and I'll show you it's really not that complicated. Once we get all the like 8,000 ingredients in it, it's really simple, but it is a lot of ingredients. So if I misspeak, make sure you check the recipe on the video, because I might actually leave something out or misspeak on this one. I promise I'll try my best. Alright, so I've got like a couple tablespoons of oil. I used olive oil this time. It really does not matter. I got it pretty toasty in here. And I like to use this pan because I want it to be kind of deep. You know, lots of times I say surface area, so I make it like really big. But we're going to use the immersion blender, so you gotta have enough liquid that's not spraying it all over me. So I have 1 cup nice sweet onion. Like I said, I cut this up pretty small, but we are going to use the immersion blender, so I don't know. It just seems to me it's easier to get the onion to caramelize. Actually, we're not even taking it to the stage of caramelizing. We're really just softening it up. And as you heard, it's really pretty toasty in here, so things are going to happen very quickly. That's how it works in my kitchen. I love when I forget to turn the heat on. And I don't like stop and restart the video. I just go with the flow, so I turn it on and I just start talking until I can see the oil shimmering in there. Because it happens to all of us, okay? Let's be honest. Alright, so I think you need quite a bit of garlic in here. So this was like 4 healthy cloves of garlic. Yep. Smelling great, looking great. And I really do want to get these cooking. I get all that oil released because this sauce is really, really important to do things right. So I'm not saying, you know, burn everything, start a fire or whatever, but we just want to get things cooked. It is really funny. I love mole sauce, and I actually like one time broke down and bought like a can of it in the grocery store. How embarrassing! And actually, there was a restaurant I used to go to, and I used to order fairly frequently. And I knew the general manager, and I talked to him, and he gave me this whole story about, you know, it's this big, huge process. He probably used from a can, but it was better than the stuff I bought. I can promise you that. But, you know, the thing when you go out, you always had a couple of beers, so it's like, hey, this is great. Alright. Make sure we got this all nice and soft. Oh yeah, pretty, pretty. Now I want to turn it down And you know, if you have electric or really heavy bottom pans like this, you got to get it turned down before we go to the next step. Not quite low, but we want to slow down that sizzling because this is the secret mixture, okay? So I have 3 tablespoons of chili powder. Chili powder is a combination of things, you know, so it can be hot or sweet. It really depends on what you want to accomplish when you buy chili powder. I buy from, you know, big bulk stuff because I use it to make chili and stuff. And it's pretty generic, which is okay because guess what? I can season it myself. Alright, so we got 3 tablespoons of chili powder. I got a tablespoon of cumin. I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of coriander, a teaspoon of ground cloves, and then a few twists of black pepper to top it all off, okay? Let's write that down. There's a quiz later. Just kidding. Alright, so let's see what we got going here. Yeah, it's gotten pretty quiet. Almost. Now we still want to kind of saute, roast, whatever you want to call it, these spices because we really want to kind of extract all that oil out of them. Oh, look, it came out really clean. I practiced that like all morning. Alright, let's get a mixing. It takes about like half a second for all that stuff to really start to fill your senses with pure love and devotion. So I just stirred up enough to get everything coated and my spoon's a mess, oh, my stirring spatula's a mess. I just want to get everything in here and we're just going to let it cook. It's really weird, it doesn't really stick to the bottom. I think it's just the oil from the stuff. But we might have to scrape the spatula as we start to thin it out a little bit. And I don't really hear it. I'm not like sizzling it. I'm literally just making sure it's getting nice and toasty throughout. And I put dry, that was all dry going in there, right? So it's not going to drop the temperature in the pan. Alright, so what comes up next? Love the smell. Anyway, what comes up next? Alright, so, don't know if you've ever seen these before. These are chipotle peppers, which just mean they're roasted jalapenos in adobo sauce. And I like what the adobo sauce adds, so we're going to do the whole thing, right? And that can just sit in there. Do a quick little dance around town. Get all. Oh, I need a gas mask. Just kidding. Alright. So what else do I got? Well, I need to get in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So I buy cornstarch, but you know, the boxes don't seal really well, so I take the inside bag out and put it in a Ziploc bag. It does keep it till its expiration date, so. And I write out so I know. Cornstarch. It's hard to get it off the spoon, so I always make sure they're a little rounded because you're never going to get it all off the spoon. Never get these bags to zip right. There it goes. Now, I have to use the spoon again, so I'm going to tap it a little bit. And now, I need to wipe it off. Okay, you can use a spare towel, paper towel, whatever you want. Does not matter to me. And what else do we have to add now? I need to get in a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. So you can eyeball this. So I don't sound like the guy in the commercial for Jif. I'll lick the spoon later so I'm not going to... Anyway, a little crazy. So believe it or not, peanut butter is a really important part. I've read where people actually use almond butter too. I'm trying to get this started. I gotta turn it down. It's getting kind of wild in here. And a little party. Those chili peppers cooked up neat. Ooh, looks good. Alright, so I need cocoa powder. It doesn't matter, you can use whatever brand you want, but I need like 3 tablespoons, okay? Uno, dos, tres. This is going to give it some pretty color too. And what's the weirdest thing that goes in here? I knew you were going to ask me. Raisins. So you know those little boxes of raisins that you get at the grocery store? One of those boxes is almost enough. So I have like a box and a half here. And because I ate half a box this morning for breakfast. And that's a 1/4 cup. Alright. Ooh, yeah, this is... Alright, so I want to show you what this really looks like. Alright, so you can see what a nice mess this has made in here. So how I'm going to thin it out? Well, guess what? I have a can of Guinness Draft Stout. I'm going to add a little bit in here. I opened this earlier and I had to refrigerate it first. First time I did it, I tried this, I didn't, and it kind of went all over the place. So we're going to add real slow. And why do you think I use Guinness? Because we want that chocolate. That's what stout is, right? What do you think? Why do you think this is looking so cool and smooth? That's the cornstarch. That's what makes it perfect thickener. Alright, now I can get pretty daring. Dump a bunch in. And already everything's coming off the bottom. And we just want to stir it to get all those lumps cooked down. Oh, look at that. Doesn't take long. And like I said, you make sure you... That's why I like this wooden scraper or spatula, because I can really scrape the bottom. Any place that are really sticking. And once I've got it heated through, I'm going to turn it down real quick because I don't want anything more to stick on the bottom. It'll be time for the immersion blender. Last of the beer goes in, turning it down. And you know, when you get it too thin like that, be careful when you're stirring because you'll end up splashing everywhere. So you just want to get it nice. Alright. So we're going to pause for a minute and let me stir this up a little more, and I'll show you what we do next. Alright, so I stirred it up really well and I let it cool down a little bit. And move it over here because now I want the immersion blender. Dun, dun, dun. And just gonna get that out of here to fight with it. Alright, so we're gonna start off. Look at that. It's all a mess from last time I used it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get her rocking and rolling. Try to be really careful because there's not a lot of liquid in here. I know if I angle this too much, it's going to spray me. Lovely. I will have shortened this, so I'm going to tell you that I had to do this for like 5 minutes just to get it really nice and smooth consistency. And slap my mama, that's good. Wow, that is really, really special. Alright, so I need to get it back on the heat. We just want to heat it through now that we've really brought the temperature down. And what I want to do is make sure that it's like any other good sauce or anything that you've seasoned, is you really want to let it kind of mix together really well, let all those flavors heat through, and I'm going to give it a nice little simmer on low. Probably going to go ahead like 15 minutes. Sometimes you do that to reduce it. It's pretty darn thick, so I'm not too concerned about this. And food for thought, I'm pretty sure it's the raisins that take so long to get blended in there. Everything else seemed to fall apart. So I'll work on that for next time, some other update. But I don't really think chopping them up or anything is going to really help. So we might just have to live with it, but you got to have the raisins. Oh yeah, yeah, that's really good. 10 to 15 minutes, I'll tell you when it's done, or when I'm done, and we'll be back to put this all together. Alright, mole sauce is perfect. I got the oven warming, and now we're going to put this all together. So with corn tortillas, big secret is I've got it's a non-stick pan, but it's dry. I don't put anything in it. Some people fry the tortilla shells. There's something really annoying on my glass. Just earlier, so I can't see. We'll have to live. Alright, so I got this pretty toasty, and all I'm going to do, my kind of assembly line. So I have, this is about 12 ounces of chicken. So how I like to do my chicken for this is I get split breasts. When I make barbecue chicken, there's always a piece that's too small, or depending how many I buy. So I don't put barbecue sauce on them, and I grill them alongside. and that way you have chicken that's really good for shredding. And you know, traditionally that's done by either boiling or other process, but I just think you get more flavor and texture this way. And secret ingredient, I wasn't going to tell you, but I guess I have to, right, is mozzarella cheese. So my pan, I can smell the heat. So I take my first corn tortilla, and these are kind of fragile. So what I need to do is throw it in here. Let's see what it does. And I got my pan that I just sprayed a little cooking spray in. So I'm going to set it up here. Clunk, clunk. And I just want to leave this alone for a minute. It's definitely hot enough, but it's gonna. This all happens really, really fast. And if you get a failure, like you pull one out and it breaks in half, throw it away. You're not going to be able to salvage it. This one's just got some cracks in it, but it should be okay, especially because we're cooking it. Because we're always cooking on my show. Oh, and the oven's at temperature. Wish you could shut that feature off. Okay. So this is going to soften it, and it's also going to kind of, I don't know, can't think of a better word, but like kind of set it, you know, so it's ready to rock and roll. Like I said, some people use a little oil in here. I really don't find you need to. Alright, so this is going out here. Got my first one. You can see it had some cracks in it, but it'll be fine. So I'm doing my assembly work. Second one goes in. Alright, little chicken. And these are small. That's all they have now, you know, so I'm gonna. And you don't want to overfill them because that kind of takes everything away from it. A little chicken, a little cheese. Then all I do the roll the enchilada. Anything that falls out can go in the next one. And then make sure you kind of jam the fold. You can either put it on the bottom, but then that's kind of the short side. So I kind of just jam it up against the edge, you can see here. Jam. Stay. Once we get a couple in there, we'll be okay. And it's funny, it really does smell good, these tortillas. So I really like doing it this way, and something I've learned is that how you kind of perfect this whole thing is I'm going to throw them in the oven, and I just want to get a little crisp to the tortillas. And that takes 350 oven. It's going to take 15-20 minutes. Just keep checking them. And I don't want it crunchy like a Frito. I just want it to have a little bit of texture. Because when we add the mole sauce, we're going to lose some of that. My favorite corn tortilla shells I can't find anywhere. So we work with what we have. And like you can see, even if they have a little bit of a fold to them, they're still working it just fine. And the pans get definitely hot, so it's going pretty quick. All right, I'm going to shoot for, I want to get about 8 of these out of this batch. So let me finish putting these together. I'll be right back to show you what they look like. Alright, as you can see, I got 9 beauties in here. So like I said, we're going to put them in the oven. Just keep an eye on them. Check them at like 10 minutes. Just stick your finger in. I just want them to get a little bit of firmness to them, you know, almost a little crunch, just to kind of set these corn tortillas. So, in the oven, I'm going to say 15 minutes. And after I take them out, I'll let you know how long it really took. So, get them in the oven and we'll see you back. Alright, it's actually been almost 20 minutes. And I'm going to take these out and show you. I love the smell of the corn tortillas, is just amazing. It's too hot. Should be fine. Alright, so how are we going to put this all together? Well, so if you're like me, I have to have my homemade refried beans, because that's like the perfect thing. And I need to snag one of these. Let me see. Oops. First one out is always toughest. So what I was talking about is you got this crunch on the shell. The underside's not going to be as crunchy. And that one's not as pretty. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. So they look beautiful. Beautiful. So now what I need to do, got my mole sauce here, right? It's still really hot. And you can use as much or as little as you want. I got a boat load here, so. So that's the way I like it. Have to try it though. Oh, mole's beautiful. So then we have to do a little garnish here. Get the garnish out of that. And I like my things a little spicy, so I have to have a little cool down. So I always like to take and just, come on, put a dab. Who am I kidding? I gotta have a good sized dab of sour cream right there. Because you gotta put it all together, man. You gotta have a bite of this, a bite of that, a bite of everything. And that is how I like my mole sauce. It's not all like overdone in mole, because mole does have a little spice to it. This is a good combination. I've got enough, you know, it's not drowning in it. I hate when you go to a restaurant and you got a plate full of mole sauce and these enchiladas swimming around trying, help, I'm drowning. So anyways, I know the sauce took more time than anything else, so I hope you give it a try once you get the sauce made. And you can refrigerate, you can freeze, you can do whatever you want with it once you got it made. And then just throw together these enchiladas, which are really simple. And you can see I just put a little bit of a crunch on them so they're going to hold up a little better. As I always say before I have to eat something is please subscribe, please comment, ring the notification bell so you know what the heck is going on in my world. And I'll see you next time.